Welcome back, everyone. It is Tuesday, April 22nd, the MLB. We have 3 picks for today's slate ready to go in this video. If you are new, my name's Austin. As always, we're joined by Logan, recapping a 1 and 2 day, a little bit deflating. Logan cashed the Blue Jays Astros under 7.5. Shouldn't have been as sweaty as it was, but I don't think you're allowed to have a sweat-free winner. That's just those apparently don't exist over here. Edwards and Hooley don't cut it done. Edwards goes 0 for 4 with a walk, and Pete Alonso had so many chances. He even got a hit and got to third with 1 out, and of course a double play. But a 2-1, 1 and 2 day could easily have been 2-1, maybe a 3-0. But we do have some fun news today. It is Dinger Tuesday. Now, Logan and I don't have any Dinger Tuesday plays, but we want to know your guys' plays. So go down below in the comments. Comment your favorite guy to hit a home run. If they do hit a home run, we're going to pick out one random comment that gives us a winner and give away $25 tomorrow. So if you comment down below, I don't know, Josh Naylor, and he hits a home run, hey, we'll go down below and you might win $25 tomorrow morning. We'll pick out just one random comment. If your guy does hit a home run, feel free to come back and celebrate. Helps us find some comments that definitely sift through the guys that hit a home run. But let's dive in the picks, Logan. Let's crank out some winners and let's go to our first pick of the day. Speak of the devil, Josh Naylor over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs minus 120 on Bet365. Now, talking about Dinger Tuesday brought up my reminder that Josh Naylor, I think, was the guy that hit the most home runs on Tuesdays last season. I don't really know if there's any science to that, but maybe he just likes the Dinger Tuesday promo. But at the end of the day, I really think this is a great matchup for him. And I honestly did not pick this just because it is a Tuesday. But if he wants it a home run, by all means, go for it. But I'll go back to Naylor, who we cashed a few days ago when they had that crazy game in Wrigley Field, that back and forth at the end of the game where it was 11-10 final score. And he's been really good this season. What you have to love is he bats cleanup. And so a guy batting cleanup typically comes up with guys on base. Yesterday, Pete Alonso, not a cleanup hitter. He hits third. He came up with guys on base, couldn't get it done. Hopefully Naylor can, and he's been great this season, batting .333, hitting .395 at home, where the D-backs return home after a little bit of a road trip, and .379 versus right-handed pitchers. So he has been pretty good, and he's in that cleanup spot, batting .375 over his last 15 days, and he's over this line in 16 of 22 games, 6 of his last 7, and 8 of his last 10 at home. So he's been really consistent. Now he'll face the Rays and Zach Lytle, who throws 3 main pitches. It's a slider, it's a split finger, and it's a four-seamer. Naylor this season, batting average versus those pitches from right-handed pitchers, 400 versus the slider, 250 versus the split finger, 304 versus this four-seam. In fact, his highest slugging percentage this year is actually on the slider. So look, if Lytle wants to spam some sliders, go for it. Lytle's been struggling, a 6.4 ERA on the road. He's allowing a .353 batting average to lefties and a 1.039 OPS to lefties as well. If you think about the guys that are in front of Naylor, it's a slew of lefties. You got Corbin Carroll, Geraldo Perdomo, and Pavin Smith. All guys that bat lefty. Now, Perdomo is a switch hitter, but he will hit lefty against the righty Lytle. So at the end of the day, I really think Naylor comes up with some guys in scoring position. If it's a guy in second or third, those guys all pretty much have good speed. So if Naylor gets a single, we will cash our bet. And the guys behind him, while they haven't been great, I still think they'll have some opportunities against Lytle to hit our boy Josh Naylor home if he does get on base. But last year we saw Naylor hit .256 with runners in scoring position. This year he's at .276, batting cleanup at home in a good matchup. I'll trust Josh Naylor to come through for us over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. I think it is a winner. But Logan, you got a game pick for the people today, and I really think it's a good one. Who are you rolling with today?
Yeah, I'm rolling with a run line today. I'm taking the Kansas City Royals on the minus 1.5 run line, plus 100 odds on Bet365. Yes, I am taking a run line in the spot. I'm backing the Royals to get a decisive win over the Rockies. Hopefully, they don't get backdoored. Again, when you're picking a run line, I normally like to stay away from home teams on the 1.5 run line, but if the spot's just too good, I'm going to roll with it. And I think the spot is great for the Royals to get it done today. Let's talk about who starts for the Royals. It's Kris Bubic, 1.88 ERA, 1.21 WHIP. I feel like every Bubic start, we either back him or fade him or some combination of both. In his last start, we faded him. He went 5 1/3 innings pitched, 7 hits, 3 earned runs at the Yankees. That was a game that I was like, if you're giving up 7 hits, surely you're not going to make it 6 innings pitched. Well, he made it close because Bubic actually worked through some adversity in that game. Like, to his credit, the Yankees had a good game plan for him, and they eventually chased him from that game, but he didn't pitch that bad. Bubic this season, what he's great at, he's inducing ground ball outs. He's 66th percentile in ground ball percentage. He's also really good at the strikeout stuff. I've been impressed with it. His K and whiff percentage are 80th percentile and 69th percentile, respectively. I really think Chris Bubich stacks up well against this Rockies lineup that's just 19th in batting average versus lefties, and they have the 8th most Ks to lefties. I think Bubich will be able to stack up the Ks. I'm not taking a K prop because there's just no way I'm cashing that. But I think Bubich does get a lot of outs via the strikeout, and I think he has an efficient outing. And on the other side, it's going to be Ryan Feltner starting for the Rockies, 4.82 ERA, 1.61 WHIP for Ryan Feltner. More or less, Ryan Feltner is a guy I like to fade. He's the last road start. He only went 2 2/3 innings pitched, allowed 5 earned runs to the Dodgers. That's just one of those starts that, you chalk it up. That's a classic Feltner road start. His breaking ball run value is -3. Now, you really have to dive into the baseball savant numbers like Austin and I do to really understand what that means. But long story short, that's not very good. If the Royals can get to his fastball, his off speed is underwhelming. That's what that number tells you right there. And I think the Royals will be able to target that. Again, this Kansas City Royals offense, they've struggled versus righties. They just struggled in general. I mean, they're bad at putting up runs. They're only hitting 204 versus righties. But as I view this game, it's like now or never for the offense. If you get carved up at home by Ryan Feltner, I will never look your way until you've gotten hot again, because I just, against a pitcher that doesn't really miss bats and Ryan Feltner, and against his off speed, his off speed's not great. They got to get the offense going. I think they do that today. I think they give Chris Bubich plenty of runs, and then we go to the bullpens, right? Royals 12th in bullpen ERA, Rockies 18th in bullpen ERA. Don't let that Rockies 18th in bullpen ERA fool you. They're still a bottom 5 bullpen unit. They've just been a little bit better lately. I think we're looking at this game, Royals bullpen far and wide the better bullpen, and I think they give Chris Bubich enough run support as well to cover this run line. Love that as my favorite pick of the day. Austin, you got another game pick though. Where are you going?
Yeah, I'm heading out to a scene of success, if you will, and then I'll throw it back to Logan for one lean that he had. I'm going to a game that we cashed yesterday. Today, we're hoping this team scores a little bit more because it would be the Blue Jays' first 5-team total. This has over 2.5. This should be 1.5. So I'll put a quick note on there. It is over 1.5 runs at -140 on DraftKings. I really think this is a great spot to back the Blue Jays. I think their offense shows up, and I think they're able to put up at least 2 on Ronel Blanco and the Astros. Look, Ronel Blanco, last year, we know he had some problems with the sticky stuff. We were at the helm of that. What do we have? Is over and outs or something like that. And then he randomly gets ejected with sticky stuff. That was tough. But again, since that start, he's really not been great, and especially not coming into this year. He has been really, let's just call it what it is. He's been bad. And so far this season, he's rocking a 6.5 ERA and a 1.7 whip. I'm not going to bet on him to figure it out here. He's allowed 3, 4, 2, and 3 earned runs in his 4 starts, cashing this over in all 4 of them. Heck, even if the slide was wrong, the 2.5, they still given up that. But the Blue Jays are familiar with Blanco, maybe in a bad respect, because last year Blanco faced him, I believe, in April. He threw a no-hitter, and he carved them up. They saw him later on in the year, and he got 2 earned runs on him. And this year, he's coming in here, and he just doesn't have great stuff. And we look at yesterday, they got destroyed by Hunter Brown. He cooked them. He had 9 strikeouts, 7 shutout innings. They didn't even score a single run the whole entire game. And I look at this as a good spot to bounce back. I mean, teams getting shut out. How often do they get shut out? Back-to-back games. In fact, prior to that start by Hunter Brown yesterday, they had actually scored 2 runs or more off 7 straight righty starters. And this is a guy coming in here in Blanco who's going to give up free base runners via the walk, and he gives up hard contact. This season, 19th percentile in walk percentage. Like I said, free base runners, 17th in ground ball percentage, and 33rd in barrel percentage. So again, he's not missing bats, and he's giving up hard contact. He's given up a homer in 2 straight. And what I love to see is when guys get in scoring position, he's been a nervous Nelly so far this season, allowing a 400 batting average with runners in scoring position. That's what this bet comes down to. The Jays likely get some guys on base. They get guys in scoring position. Can they get the timely hits? Now, if you look at their splits against Blanco, you'd be like, ooh, that's bad. But again, he no-hit them yet last year. So, of course, all their splits are not going to be great. I think that if they get to him today, coming off a shutout, I think the Jays offense shows up. So I really like the Blue Jays. Like I said, the slide is wrong. It's not over 2.5. It's over 1.5, -140 on DraftKings. I think they deliver at least 2 runs for us. So to recap the plays before I throw it back to Logan, for one strong lean he had, just wanted to stick to 3 picks. Naylor's over in hits, runs, RBIs. Royals to win by 2, -1.5. And the Blue Jays, first 5-team total over 1.5, not 2.5. But Logan, word on the street, you had one more strong lean. I'll let you talk about it for a second, then we'll get on out of here.
Yeah, the strong lean was going to be in that Red Sox and Mariners game. I think that one goes under. It's just not a it's like on a confidence level, I'm like a 5 out of 10 on that, but my Royals pick I'm like an 8 or a 9 out of 10, right? So it's significantly I like that one a lot better than this one. But the reason why I was looking at this one, number one, the game's priced as if Brian Bayo does have a decent start, and he's coming back. He had his trial and tribulations last year, obviously injury. And then he went to AAA. Doesn't look good in AAA apparently, but again, there's still the books are putting him comfortably priced on that money line. So again, I think he has a decent start. The Mariners are a type of offense that can make him look good. And then Bryce Miller on the other side, I think he's just a good strikeout pitcher, pretty decent at missing bats. That's what you have to do against this Red Sox lineup. If you get them to just kind of chase, expand the zone, well, then you look up at the scoreboard and suddenly it's like 1-0 through 5 or something like that. I think that total's just set a little bit too high, and the Mariners overachieved in that Toronto series. Now coming to Fenway, where you think, oh, hitter-friendly ballpark, hitter-friendly conditions, that they show up. No, that's not how the Mariners work. So again, that's a series I want to look at maybe for an under, but maybe it's not today. Maybe it's tomorrow. Maybe it's the next day. But maybe I do target an under eventually. But it's just a strong lean for now.
Yeah, for now, we'll stick to the 3 plays we already talked about. A reminder, link, put your Dinger Tuesday plays, guys you think get a home run later down below. Just put one guy. If you pick one that's right, you might win $25. We'll announce the winner tomorrow morning. But those are our 3 picks. Let's go for a 3-0 sweep. Let's get some momentum going, and we'll see you guys back again tomorrow with some more picks. See you then. Peace.